When I was a boy, my dad asked me what I wanted to be when I grew up.
What do you want to be when you grow up?
I told him I wanted to be just like Jason Witten, like Reggie Bush, Amos Smith.
I used to tell him I want to be the captain of a nuclear sub.
Pro basketball player. In 2011, my dream of being a father came true. Since that day, my hopes and dreams have shifted from what I want to what I want for my daughter. I like to imagine him growing up to be handsome,
talented, godly, kind.
just like me.
There's no way to really know yet. For the most part, I'll just have to wait to see
who she grows up,
who he grows up to be.
I sit and think about how great Kylie will be, how others will love her. I think coaches, teachers, pastors will even approve of her and even be impressed by her. I imagine his peers looking up to him and wanting to be around him all the time.
There's a part of me that really would want for my grandkids, the following generations, to admire them.
Most parents want their son or daughter to be a lovable person. It's that desire that makes John 15 so important.
Christ tells his disciples, if you are of the world would love you as its own. But because you are not of the world, because I chose you out of the world, therefore the world hates you.
It's not just John 15. There are many scriptures describing the conflict that Jesus' disciples face. I realize if my daughter becomes a follower in Christ, people will hate her.
hate him.
Hate her.
People will hate him.
People will be absolutely, unquestionably repulsed by my daughter.
By my grandkids.
God graciously saves Kylie. People will call her a bigot, a hypocrite.
He'll be despised for saying Jesus Christ is not only God, but the only God.
His integrity will draw insults. He will probably meet a girl that insults his manhood or considers him old-fashioned or waiting until marriage before having sex.
His peers will think he's a prude. Bullies will call him a coward.
Teachers will think that my grandsons and granddaughters ignore scientific facts about origins. Their classmates will mark them as idiots.
People will tell him that he's been led astray by his parents. He's irresponsibly generous.
When she takes a stand, she'll be called intolerant. She will be judged as judgmental.
Because of what I teach them in their love of Jesus Christ, my grandchildren will have enemies. And I'll be asking my grandchildren to love those same enemies. And even for that, they will be marked as foolish.
If you're like me and hope for kids who are fully devoted followers of Christ, we need to raise up a generation ready to be different, ready to be hated, ready to be judged.
That's just the opposite of my natural inclination of how to raise my grandchildren. Raising kids who unashamedly love God also means raising kids that are ready to be loathed. It means raising kids that are ready to be alienated.
Pray that our children will be ready to stand firm in the midst of a world that hates them.